So here we are, we're going to be looking at some triangle congruence. And right now for this first half, we'll just be looking at some side, 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 and side angle side. Then we'll look at some of the combinations with angles as well. So starting us off, we have this triangle. And the question is, are they congruent? So it's either, like yes or no. And how do you know? Well, we have our options, for this set of questions. We could have the side, side, side pattern or the side, angle, side. Other patterns that we'll be looking at the next one as well are the angle, side, angle, or the angle, angle, side, which is actually really just a subset of the angle, side, angle. So here we go. We have this triangle. What do we know? Well, okay, I see I got a side and another side. And we have these angles here. And then the question is, do I have anything else? I do. In fact, this middle line, I'll say, is congruent to itself, and that's by reflexive property. So I'm going to even make that note to myself, that that's a reflexive property, meaning that those two lines are overlapping and they're equal to each other, therefore they're equal for both triangles. So that's a third side for both of these that are kind of shared and overlapped. So I have a side, two sides and an angle, and the angle is in between. So that is appropriate. We have side, angle, side for this triangle, and side, angle, side for this triangle. So yes, they are congruent because of side, angle, side. And we have reflexive property. But then there's some other directions here. I don't know if you can see these, but it says describe the transformation, reflection, rotation, translation, and give specifics. 90 degrees, 180 degrees, where's the center, mirror line, arrow, showing translation, all that kind of stuff. So this is a rotation, which maybe you could notice, and it rotates right around the center. It kind of spins right around that, almost like a propeller, spinning around and around and around. All right, let's see what we have now for number 2. So this second one, very similar. We got a side here and then an angle. And then we have a side here and then an angle. And we have this third side. I'm going to do a double tick mark on it. So that would make a side here and also a side there. So now let's talk about these two triangles kind of separate. For this top one, I have side, two sides at an angle, and the angle is in between the two sides. So for that one, it's a pattern of side, angle, side. Down here, I have an angle and two sides, but it's the wrong angle. It's almost like it should be this angle over here because that would be in between. This is more side, side, and then the angle not in between. So number 2 then is not congruent. And it's because it doesn't match. It mismatch. So then I can't say anything about a transformation or anything like that. But that's the general idea. Let's look at a couple more here. For example, number 3. Actually, we'll probably finish with number 3. So we have side here, and I have a side here. Also, I have this angle there that they gave me, and I have this angle there. And then I have this side in between that counts for both. It's a shared side. So I'm going to say something about that. That's the reflexive property that allows me to say that that side is, in fact, congruent for both of those. So up top, I have a side and another side with the angle in the middle. So that's cool. That's one of the possibilities that would work for us. The other one, we have a side and another side with the angle in the middle again. So we have side, angle, side. They match. It works. So now what? Okay, so they're congruent. Yes, it's congruent. Then I need to talk about the transformation. This one looks like it's flipping because the left and right, if you call this like left and this right, is the same down here, but the top now becomes the bottom down there. It's kind of like the top is up here, but then it's on the bottom down there, so it's a flip. And the middle part between the two would be this horizontal line. So there's my mirror line. So we want these details in there too. Where's the mirror line? Perfect. All right, so those are just a handful of examples. You guys will have some answers available to you, but I want you to go through and try the other ones. See what you come up with. We're going to go ahead and round this out a little bit here. We're going to finish off the congruence. You thought the video was over, but not really. So now we're going to look at the other two styles, angle, side, angle, and we'll throw in some angle, angle, side, but we're going to focus mostly on this angle, side, angle. So that pattern means that I have two angles with the side in the middle, or two angles with the side on the outside. So as long as I have two angles and one side, I'm set. That's awesome. So let's see what we have. State if they're congruent. If they are, state how you know. So in other words, list which combination we have. But then we also need to look at the transformation. Is it reflection, a rotation, a translation? Is it 90 degrees, 180, center, mirror line, all the details there. Let's see what we got. So first of all, I notice that I have an angle here, and then another angle here. And again, I have this angle and this angle. If only I knew one of the sides was also congruent. Well, hey, check this out. We do, because it's that reflexive property in the middle. So I'm going to make that note, that we know that that is reflexive property. Excellent. So if that's reflexive property, that means that I have a side congruence in the middle as well. So we have angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. Now that we're looking at that, how do we digest this? What do we do with that? Well, those are congruent because of angle, side, angle. So angle, side, angle says they're congruent. The transformation then, is it a rotate? Is it a reflect? Or is it a translate? Which one best kind of describes what's happening here? Well, we have, it wouldn't be rotate, because rotate means like this tip pointing that way, when it's rotated down here would be pointing this way. But it's not. They're kind of both pointing in the same direction. So it's like the left and right still say the same. Left and right still say the same. So it's not a rotate. That makes me think it's a reflection, because translate means that it also be facing the same direction, which it's not. So it's a reflection. And it's reflecting across this line. So there's my mirror line. Excellent. There's my mirror line. Now let's see what I can do with that. Well, that's it. I'm done. We got a reflection. There's a mirror line. We said it's congruent by angle, side, angle. Right on. All right, let's do a different one. Let's jump down to number 3 here. Let's see what we have. This one's a little bit interesting because it has some things marked. So for example, I have this angle in this side, and I have this angle in this side. So I need another angle in there. So I could either have the angle side angle or the angle side. I just need another side somewhere. All right, so let's see what we have. I have an angle and a side, but whoa, check this out. We have the scissor action, the vertical angles, where on either side, these are congruent. So I need to say something about that too, not just mark them. These are vertical angles. Vertical angles. And those are congruent, so that's how I marked them there. So that gives me another angle for this one and another angle for this one. So, hey, there you go. I got 2 angles and a side, but let's see if they match up. Up here I have 2 angles, the side, but the side is not in between them. That would have been here. So I have angle, angle, side. The side is not in between them. It's on the, not in between the angles, but outside of the angles. Similarly, I have 2 angles, but the side not in between. It's actually outside of them. So that gives me angle, angle, side. Again, so I have a match. Angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. And that's it. That's check. Done. So it's congruent. All right, now let's talk about the transformation. So here's what I see. I see kind of like this is one piece, and now it's over here. And this was up, but then it's down. And this was left, but now it's right. And what happens when we see that? Well, when you see like your left become right and your up becomes down, you're actually doing a spinning motion. So this is a rotate. and it's going to be around, there's a center marker on here. It's actually that little point right between the two triangles. So it's a rotate around those pieces there. That would be your transformation. All right, we're going to end the video there. This just to get you started. Hopefully you guys have a little bit of an idea from here.